Hey YouTube, I want to talk about Blackkklansman. It was a movie I checked out over the weekend, and I waited because I had a lot of reservations about seeing this movie. I had once did a video about 8 years ago about Spike Lee and things that he said about Tyler Perry and his movies, and I didn't agree with certain things that were said regarding his artistry, and I haven't really supported or watched the Spike Lee movie since then. I did see Inside Man, but I think I saw it on cable. But besides that, I haven't seen any other film that he's done or actually paid for it. You know, I've seen maybe Chirac. I saw that. I saw that on cable, and I want to talk about Blackkklansman. I'm a fan of directors, and writers, impartial to black directors because there's not too many of them. John Singleton gave me a scholarship, so I definitely was inspired by him initially, as well as Spike. Besides seeing Boys in the Hood, I saw that maybe 30, 40 times in my life. I saw Do the Right Thing, directed by Spike Lee, I would say twice as much. I saw it about 80 times, I would say. I used to watch that movie every day, and I was 8 or 9, and I used to put that VHS in, and I used to watch it. I used to enjoy it. But I was a little strange kid. I understood certain things in it. What drove me with the Do the Right Thing was the difference in race and the treatment and all of the little commonalities we have, as well as adversities that we all deal with in life. And that movie really helped me mold what a story is and what a story could be, how you can make it creative and serious at the same time. With that said, I did not expect what happened when I saw the film. I first had my initial, leeriness on going to pay for a Spike Lee movie now. I went, I purchased it. My other reservation is that it seems like a polarizing title, Blackkklansman. And I kind of wanted to see that with a lot of black people, go to the movies, see it with different areas you go in. It's either a demographic of people. It's like black people all go to this one, and you'll see most of the movies in this area, and then you might see another movie in another area, and it might be mostly Caucasians, mostly Hispanics in that area, or whatever. But I decided to do something different. Like, I usually see my Spike Lee movies such as Malcolm X, such as Girl 6, such as Do the Right Thing. I usually saw those in primarily black theaters. So, it was some kind of commonality there. But this movie, I wanted to do something different. So I saw it in a certain area where I was the only black person there. I didn't expect it to be packed because it already had came out. So I didn't expect it to be packed. It was packed. I was the only black person there. If it was others, I didn't see them. That's important because me seeing this movie as a black man in a room full of white people, I did not expect that I would be affected in a certain way. It was weird because it didn't bother me. I thought it would initially, but it didn't bother me when the movie started. And then you start hearing the N-word, you start hearing all these racial epithets of different races and different cultures, and it was all through the movie. I mean, it was just so much of it, but it was needed because of how these Klans members talked and how they felt and how strongly they felt, how they're willing to die for it, put their life on the line for it based off of someone's skin color or religious background and different things like that. But somewhere around the middle of the movie, and I'll tell you, BlackkKklansman is about a black detective that infiltrates with his white counterpart or his white partner. They infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan in Colorado in the 70s, and using tactics and things to get close entry into the top leaders of the Ku Klux Klan, such as David Duke and different other people that were involved in it. But seeing this film really got me by the middle of the movie. By the middle of the movie, it's a lot of things happen. I don't give any spoilers away, but it's a lot of stories told. It's a lot of actions that are taken, and it's a lot of heartfelt things. I don't ever in my life cry. I'm probably a person that can hold my emotions in very well in terms of just crying. I only do that at funerals, or regarding death, or regarding reflection. And definitely I wouldn't be in a theater where people could see it. I was in that theater, and by the middle of the movie, he brought a legend on, and I'll let y'all see who that is when you see the movie. But this legend got me. I knew it was him as soon as I heard his voice. And then when they showed who he was and he started telling these stories, my eyes start welling up. Then tears start streaming down, and I was trying to be cool. I was trying to take my glasses down and act like it wasn't affecting me. I have my Kleenex in my hand, and I was trying to wipe casually, but the tears was flowing. Never in my life of seeing movies for over 30 years and considering myself as a movie buff, never have I felt anything like that. Never have I had a movie ever affected me or impacted me, and I thought I was done. I thought I was done with the tears. I really was. The movie went on, and it got to pivotal points in the plot and story, which was really smart and clever. It was produced by Jordan Peele of Get Out, as well as directed by Spike Lee. And when it got to the end, and they show what's going on right now, it was a good bridge of the past, a current time, and the present of what we're living in right now. A current time was based in the 70s for them, but they fast forward to what's going on right now, and it was so raw and real, just all of that together, having the death and having the reflection. You couldn't hear a pin drop. You could not hear a pin drop. I've never heard so much quiet. It was like A Quiet Place. The movie, if you've seen that movie, it was like A Quiet Place. It was points where everybody was together. It wasn't a color, it wasn't black, it wasn't white. I just would like to know what white people felt viewing a movie like that, where they're the main people that they're talking about. Even in history, we're only talking about the 70s, so that wasn't too long ago. How did they feel watching and hearing? What do they believe? What do they expect? What did they find watching that movie? And by the end of it, I felt like we all felt the same. It was so impactful. It was so real. It was so raw. It was so important. It was probably one of the most important movies that I ever saw in my life, and it was important because it was not only entertaining, the storyline was original, and it was cleverly done, but having the lineage, the history added to it, having the raw hate, the raw destruction, the raw sadness, wasn't sugarcoated. He did not sugarcoat this at all. This is not meant to be a nice film to make people look good. This is a movie that was showing the real, what it is. You felt like you was watching something real. And you rarely see that nowadays. Everything tries to be overproduced and studio ties and everything like that. But this movie had me and the audience of all whites mostly, packed, just to let you know, had us all almost respectful of this movie. It was like so quiet. I just never heard such quiet. It was like everybody, it wasn't a conversation, it wasn't a cough, it wasn't a smack, it wasn't anything. It was like by the end I was just trying to hold myself together in the quiet moment. It felt like it was forever, that long pause, and I felt so much emotion inside. Tears was flowing, almost like somebody just died, and I had a gut-wrenching cry. I was the first one that left. I don't know if I wanted people to see me. I didn't want people to see my reaction. Um, I don't know. I didn't want to connect with anyone, but to feel what I felt. I felt like it overtook my body. It was a movie that invoked so much raw emotion that the funny thing, I didn't expect it to. By the time I couldn't even get outside the door before I gasped in tears. It was like I had to fight myself and hold it back in. And I'd never do that unless it was a funeral. Never, never. And this movie really was effective. This movie will win Best Picture. It should win Best Director. This is Spike Lee's best movie ever, and I never would have thought that. I thought it was hype when they was talking about Do the Right Thing and how about Blackkklansman was the best movie he ever done. This movie is a masterpiece. This movie was done with Spike Lee's signature jazz instrumental in the background, dark cinematography, his slow motion camera shot where it's like they're still but they're moving. That's Spike Lee's signature right there. This movie made you like the other characters as well. They had great chemistry, the actors. The story was heavy, but it had a lot of comedy moments, and it was almost like, are you supposed to laugh? Yeah, that's what he did. A great movie invokes laughter, emotion. A greater movie invokes tears. But what this movie has done for me, it invoked impact. I feel like it changed the way I view things, even though I thought I knew it all already, especially when it comes to race. And I'm into historical facts about race and all of these things because I think that racism is very prevalent and it's very important to not ignore. It's not something that goes away. It's something that you got to keep an eye on. But too many people today are just trying to live the American dream in a way without looking at the past and trying to ignore the atrocities. Things are still going on, and this movie shows that. I mean, things are still going on as if it's the 1950s, 1940s, the 1870s. I mean, it's almost like the only difference is we have more laws to protect, but there were instances where they taught about in the movie how laws are used to spread hate. Laws are created to keep stuff going, to keep mess going with race and different things. And you have some good payoffs in this movie too. People that you wanted to see go down, you saw them go down. I mean, he gave you all that satisfaction. He gave you an action-packed, fun, entertaining movie, but then he put this real shit up in there. The real shit that he put in here has made this a masterpiece. This is the best movie of the year. This is the Oscar for him for Best Picture. This is his Best Picture Oscar. This is his Best Director Oscar. Nobody made the choices that he made. The choices that he made was very pointed, and it was important. The choices that he made, he didn't have to make them, but they were hard choices because the audience felt it. The audience felt relieved. I even seen reviews where people were standing up and they gave it a standing ovation. For 8 minutes, I didn't stay that long. I couldn't even make it out the damn door. My tears were flowing. It felt like I was connecting with just my past, my ancestors. And it's a cliche thing to say, but I felt like I was connected with my ancestors with this movie. I felt like it was just everything you needed for the impact that he was looking for. I think he got it because it's it's important not to sugarcoat things like this. And when he put the real raw footage at the very end of the movie of Charlottesville, and then he put um, Donald Trump in the actual film with live footage of his words, mix all that together, man. It's not even a an attempt. It's a nail on the head. Like he really achieved a masterpiece. He really did. And everybody should go see Blackkklansman. Blackkklansman is a movie that you'll never forget. It's a movie you might not even see it again because it's just so deep. It's so real, and it's just what it is. It's like it was naked. It was not there for it didn't have anything to cover up any type of words, any type of shyness. I mean, the arrogance and the cavalierness of the people with the ideas that skin color is a difference that they should focus on. It's not. Skin color is not a difference you should focus on, but it is in the world through racism. And it's definitely something that you should not miss. So go check out Blackkklansman. I give it a A+. I don't give movies an A+. I've seen a lot of movies this summer. I've been doing reviews, but this is the one right here. This is Spike Lee's greatest film. I really mean that. I really do. Check me out on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My links are at the bottom. Please subscribe because this content, I'm willing to go there with this content, but I definitely want the subscribers. I want to continue to push and to bring up things that need to be talked about. Really, we need to have these conversations. Let me know how you feel about Blackkklansman. I want to know from a white person, how do you feel watching this movie? How did you feel when you saw all the cruelty, when you saw all the hate? How did you feel? How did you feel? It's not you right now, I hope not, but it's definitely represents you. It represents a part of history. It represents something that you can't change, but since you're living in the now, how do you feel about this? What is your view on Blackkklansman? You let me know. You can check me out also on my website, scareofthelight.com. I have a book called Scare of the Light, The Dream Memoirs of Russell Banks. And that book is available now. So you can find the buy links on my website or go to Amazon or Barnes and Nobles. You can get the ebook or the regular paperback book. It's a fiction fantasy, but definitely close to this type of subject matter is my next book that you'll really enjoy. I'll let you guys know more about that coming up soon. It'll be out this year, or end of the year, or beginning of the next year, but it's going to be out soon. So again, let me know. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.